Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series I'm going to be doing on this channel. This series is going to be called Like a Champ, and we're going to be taking a deep dive into every single operator into the game, showing how to play them properly, some cool tips and tricks, their synergies, and of course their counters. Now before we get into it, one of the things I'm going to avoid talking about is their secondary gadgets, considering that these can change due to balancing within every update. So for the most part we're going to be only focusing on the operator's primary gadgets, and then we're going to be making dedicated guides for grenades, secondary hard breach, flashbangs, etc. So I thought for the first one, why not start with one of the most underrated defenders in the game, Goyo. So Goyo is a 2 speed 2 health defender who has access to the Vector .45 ACP SMG and the TCSG 12 slug shotgun, and he only has one secondary weapon, which is the P229 pistol, and of course his gadget, the Vulcan canister. Now if you haven't played in a while, you may be aware that they have changed his gadget. Canisters actually used to be attached to deployable shields, but since then they have removed the shield aspect and left only the canister. So Goyo has a very simple gadget. He has a Vulcan canister which when shot in the big red area will explode and release fire which lasts 20 seconds. This fire deals 12 points of damage per tick and does 3 ticks per second, meaning that you get 36 damage per second. As it currently stands, there is no operator which is immune to the fire, even teammates will get affected by it. The canisters can be placed on barricades, windows, floors, walls, basically any surface which you can place items on, but they have to be within Goyo's reach. When placed on hatches and destroyed, it will take away the hatch as well, and the fire will also spread below the hatch. As well as this, if you're willing to give one up in a certain location, you can block drone holes. Now we're going to be taking a look at some good placements for the Goyo canister, and a big way of learning about this is seeing how the fire actually works in the environment. So we're going to be doing this example in office on chalet top floor, and we're going to be taking a look at the half wall by default plant. Now I guarantee you guys that someone has went for a plant in this location and most likely succeeded. Now I'm going to be showing a good canister placement which can be detonated from either bedroom or piano or even in office itself, which can actually stop that default plant. And firstly I'm going to show where not to place the canister, and then we'll show you how to do it properly. So we're going to be placing this canister on the other side of half wall facing us, because if it's on the other side of the wall then the enemies can just shoot it once they open the breach, pretty much making it useless because they can destroy it before they need to go for a plant. So placing it on this half wall, we realize that the fire doesn't actually reach the default plant. Yes, this would stop them pushing further into sight, but at this point they don't need to, they are already in position to plant. Now I'm going to show you how the fire mechanics work in this game and how you can actually get this fire to go over the wall, and it's actually pretty simple. The fire simply will just not go around any objects. The half wall here is simply stopping the fire from going round. So what we're going to do is place a Goyo canister on the wall right beside half wall, but still have it facing us and hidden away from the enemies. And now once detonated, it will go over the half wall and the fire will be in default plant. And this is because the canister is above the half wall. It isn't an obstacle because it can go over it. From where that Goyo canister is placed, there isn't actually anything around the corner because the half wall is below it. So this just goes to show that placement is key for Goyo, because this placement, not even a meter apart from each other, will have complete different effects on the round. So by now we've talked about how to explode the canister, pretty simple, you just shoot the red part. We've talked about how it can be used to stop a plant, and we've taken a look at how the fire interacts with the environment. So now we're going to take a look at synergies, what operators you can pair with Goyo to get the most out of his gadget. Firstly, we've got probably the most simple one, and that's Capcan. Place a Goyo canister on the wall beside a Capcan trap, enemy walks in the trap, detonates the trap, also detonates the canister, and they get hit not only by the trap, but then they're stuck in fire as well. They can either die from the fire or die running away. Next we've got Castle. Of course you can place a castle barricade on any window and door. Placing the canister high up on the castle barricade will cause it to explode once the castle barricade is breached, and not only will it stop them from jumping in, using our knowledge of the half wall, the fire will actually go through the window and touch outside as well. Goyo can also be paired with both Tachanka and Smoke. Both gadgets have no effect on Goyo's canisters and can be used freely with each other, and when you're in the dying moments of the round, you can pop a Goyo canister which will last 20 seconds, then when that's about to end, you can use a Tachanka or the Smoke to extend the time which they cannot enter that doorway. So next is actually Azami, who on paper makes her own walls basically. So if you want a Goyo canister in a certain place but you can't place it on the wall there, or there isn't a wall there to begin with, you can actually place an Azami charge and place a Goyo canister on it, allowing it to now be placed there. One zap from a Maestro camera will also detonate his charge, so if you're once again in the dying moments of the round, Maestro can be at the other side of the map in complete safety and explode this canister and stop the enemy or even stop a plant by killing them or scaring them away. Next we've got Jaeger and Wamai, and both of them act quite differently. So of course Jaeger will just stop any projectile that comes at the Goyo canister. If they are trying to nade it or use an Ash for example, the ADS will simply destroy the gadget and protect the canister. However, Wamai actually acts a bit differently. Instead of destroying the gadget, it still detonates it, but it pulls it away from where it's originally aimed at. So the Wamai placement actually matters quite a bit, because as you can see we have it placed on the other side of the doorway, it takes a grenade, it explodes it, and the canister is safe. But placing the Wamai gadget by the canister, it will actually bring the grenade over to the canister, explode it, and detonate the canister. So while my placements do matter, and it simply comes down to if you want them to detonate it or not. It may be in your best intention for them to actually blow up the canister if it's in the dying moments of the round, or maybe if you want to save that canister for your own intention, you don't want them to blow it up with a grenade, so you want to pull that grenade away. The next one here is just really more of a note that Bandit and Cade have no effect on the gadget, and electricity in general do not destroy team gadgets anymore. Now for this next part, we're going to group a bunch of them together, so we'll say like Melusi, Legion, Ella, Thorn, Clash, proximity alarms, cameras in general. Basically any operator's gadget that won't detonate the canisters, but you can use that as a moment to detonate it yourself when they're concussed by an Echo or an Ella, they're running away from a Thorn trap, they could have a goo mine in their foot, they're probably trapped in a Banshee, or you're zapping them as Clash. Although these gadgets aren't blowing up the canister, you can use this as the moment to blow it up once they are trapped, concussed, etc. So next we're going to be looking at counters and other operator interactions. So this one is a counter to basically any hard breach, and that is if you have a Goyo canister placed on the hard wall, once blown up it will actually explode the canister, meaning that they can't go for a rush after they've breached the wall, basically meaning that once they have breached the wall they can't enter for another 20 seconds. They can of course still shoot from the breach, but they can't enter unless they want to take damage and probably get caught in a crossfire. This goes for every single hard breacher, including hard breach charges, except for Maverick, where he actually has to use his blowtorch on a specific spot for it to explode. Next we're going to be looking at the two ops with the laser feature, which is of course Twitch and Zero. Pretty simple, a zap from a Twitch drone will destroy a canister on the red part, and the same thing will also happen when you shoot it with a Zero cam as well. It's also quite a good way to stop an Amaru rush. If you place it on a barricade and Amaru flies through the window, she'll detonate the canister, and although she can kind of outrun it, it will be a massive sound indicator that Amaru has entered there, and it'll also just limit the space that she can do once she is actually in the window. Next is Kali, and it's pretty simple. If you have a Goyo canister on a hard wall or any surface which Kali can burrow through, simply shooting Kali's gadget at the wall will explode the canister, even if there is no hole in the wall or anything like that. Next we're going to move into another category, and that's just going to be explosive operators. So an Ash charge will detonate it even around a corner, a Zofia charge will do the same, Flores of course can drive his RC car up to it and explode it as well, a Fuse cluster charge will explode anything in the room including a canister, Gun 6, a grenade, basically any explosive in the game will detonate this canister and cause it to explode. And I guess a final operator to note here is that Sledge's hammer can actually destroy them. If you for some reason cannot see the red part that can be shot and you want to destroy it, you can hit it with your hammer, but it will kill you. So it's not really a viable strat if we're going to be honest. And that is a deep dive in how to play Goyo, having a look at some of his synergies, and of course his counters. And now the beauty of Siege is that there is probably 100 different ways this can be played, 100 different synergies that you can come up with, and of course operators in the future as well, which can completely change how he will be played. But I hope this video helps you understand how to use his gadget, think out the box a bit more, and hopefully you can find some new strats and actually teach me a thing or two. So guys, if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like on this video as it did take a lot of effort to make. I hope to see you all in the next operator guide I will be making. Let me know which operator you want me to do it on. Have a great day guys, I'll catch you all later. Peace.